Oh man, am I excited. I'm finally, like, sure I just reacted to the prologue of History Repeats, but that didn't count. This is, like, gonna be, like, the first start of reacting to Scribbler's videos, and oh my gosh, the Scribbler's stories are so freaking good, and I get hyped every single time there's like a new audio drama I get to watch. This one isn't complete, but it will be completed, so I gotta watch it. This one is just, every Scribbler audio drama is just a banger, and I'm so excited to watch this. They're so good. Woo! Previously on History Repeats.
Everything's gonna be just fine.
Luna,
no.
The dream again?
No, it's not.
Vision, sister. It is a vision. A warning. We must find her.
So, oh, by the way, this is 55 minutes.
As long as she stands on equestrian soil, we shall prevail.
The legends about those creatures were ancient before Equestria was even founded. It has been countless generations since one was even rumored to have come to our world.
There is no time to lose. We have to send some pony to find her.
Now.
Please, Sally.
Go!
Longer than I expected
It's
you to,
from the
like
thumbnail.
You said you'd pay me. I'm no traitor.
Oh, but you are. By helping me, you've damned your entire world! Yes! Flee! Run! It will do you no good!
Yeah! I don't know any of one thing.
You cannot live without what you see.
I don't know any of them.
Everything just seems so hard to bear.
Tape on.
No one in this world
Greg.
just seems to care.
It's Greg from the
You down, and I'll show you
Oh.
how to close your
Oh, this was written by Saddle Soap Opera.
Everything you see is okay. And nothing seems it's going right. Don't lift your heart.
Is it G1 stuff?
Don't give up the fight.
This is G1 stuff. What? Oh my god. I need to watch G1. Oh my lord. I need to watch G1. It's okay, I have a month. There's a month left. Watch G1. By 1,000 eyeballs. You think Guru guy from the... Oh my god.
Applejack narrowed her eyes and tilted her head at the portable blackboard standing out in the open, grassy courtyard near the sculpture garden on the palace grounds. Not far away, Rarity was leafing through a romance novel at the base of a statue. Fluttershy was covered in local birds, busily braiding her mane, and Pinkie Pie was teetering precariously atop a stone vase, trying to mimic a statue's pose. Applejack tilted her head still further, and then straightened.
Nope.
What you doing?
I don't get it.
Rainbow Dash
What are you
frowned.
trying to get?
Oh, come on! It's as easy as falling off a cloud. Just follow the...
She turned to face the board she'd only just finished covering in curling, coiling dotted lines, X's, O's, and chevrons in 3 different colours of chalk. The
It's a
board now
painting.
looked like a schematic illustrating a bowl of noodles exploding.
It's abstract.
Dash chuckled sheepishly.
It's a chicken.
Okay.
It's Discord.
Aerial hoofball is a little complicated.
Hoofball.
But still, you're one of the top
Oh.
athletes in Ponyville. You should totally be able to figure it out.
Applejack adjusted her Stetson with a hoof.
It's a painting of
And why
football.
exactly do you want me to learn a sport that you can't play without wings?
Rainbow Dash sighed in frustration.
So that when Twilight gets back from her talk with Princess Celestia, I'll know what you're talking about when we both convince her to play on my team in the next big game. See those wings of
Yeah.
hers? She'll be a natural.
She smiled broadly at the prospect,
Ah, well, as long as it's for a good cause.
replied Applejack dryly. Rainbow Dash chuckled and then dusted the board clean with a few swipes of a wing. She picked up a piece of chalk with her teeth.
Okay, let's start off with
A sudden, chilling breeze caught Dash's attention mid-sentence and sent a shiver down her spine.
Whoa.
Her multicolored tail frizzed.
It's a
She turned
breeze.
around and found herself face to face with a dark blue alicorn.
She's got
The chalk
sunglasses
dropped
on.
out of Dash's mouth.
Oh my god, she has sunglasses.
Don't you usually, not come out much in the daytime?
Luna
That's why I
straightened.
have
Her
sunglasses.
translucent mane and tail were dusk pale in the daylight, and her eyes were narrow behind a pair of platinum-framed sunglasses.
This is no normal situation. We have an urgent task for thee. If thou art not too occupied with thy stalwart friend.
Luna nodded toward Applejack, who doffed her Stetson nervously. Dash stared, and then caught herself.
No, not really, Princess. I'm ready for anything.
Applejack stepped forward, putting her hat back in place.
Me
Hat.
too, Princess.
Luna spread her wings.
Thy courage is admirable, Applejack, but sadly we cannot accept thy aid. This task doth call for flight.
The alicorn leaped into the air.
Get
Come,
smoked,
Rainbow Dash.
Applejack.
We must make haste.
Dash hovered, but then paused.
Light. Should we get Twilight too?
Yeah.
Or Fluttershy?
Yeah, let's get them both.
Luna's shaded eyes betrayed nothing.
Nay, loyal Rainbow Dash. The new princess is swift-winged, but unaccustomed to her new nature as of yet. And though gentle Fluttershy is most virtuous, this mission calls for a flyer of consummate skill.
What?
She means you're a
means-
fantastic flyer no pony else can match.
Yeah.
A faint blush colored Dash's cheeks.
I won't let you down, Princess.
She gave a quick salute and then took off after the princess.
Where are you
She
going?
looked back over her shoulder and called out.
Where are you going?
AJ, tell the gang I'll be gone for a little while, okay?
Wait, where are you going?
Applejack craned her neck to watch the pair, shifting awkwardly.
Wait, where's she going?
Alright. I'll just be going then, I reckon.
Going? Where's she
Turned
going?
and headed over to meet up with her other friends.
Alright, cool. Grogar time? No, Luna.
Luna flew with phenomenal speed, forcing Rainbow Dash to do something
She's
she
like the
hadn't needed to do
Terminator.
since her assessment at the Wonderbolts Academy. Put in an effort.
Where are we going, Princess?
Yeah,
She
where are
shouted
you
over the
going?
roar of the wind.
To Cloudsdale's weathersmithy. Thou hast a rainbow to follow.
Luna shouted back.
A rainbow?
What?
Luna offered no further explanation, and soon the pair approached the Pegasus Cloud City's industrial district. The air was cold and damp and heavy
Is that
with the
Undertale?
spicy tang of liquid rainbow.
On the left there?
Pegasi in safety gear toted baskets of snowflakes and barrels of rainbow
looks
to
like
and fro,
Undertale.
and heavy machinery thrummed and clanked in a constant basso backbeat. Luna approached one of the largest and oldest pumps, moving raw rainbow down to the assorted pools and basins and cloud ponds from which it spilled down to the ground below. Her horn flared, and the machine's controls glowed and adjusted themselves.
Whoa! Hey! You can't do that, Princess! The
Except I
pipe's so-
can.
A rumble shook the cloud under Dash's hooves, and the needles in the machine's status gauges jerked to the right. A worried beige Pegasus stallion flapped over in a hurry. He skidded to a halt on sight of the princess.
This face.
Princess Luna! We didn't expect the royal inspection today.
Luna with sunglasses is
Could I
amazing.
help you with whatever you're...
Nay, we have no need for thee. Thou art dismissed.
Said Luna flatly.
Get out of here!
She continued adjusting the machine. The cloud lurched heavily enough to make Dash and the technician stagger. The technician stepped to and fro nervously.
I I don't want to be a bother, but...
Luna magicked off her dark glasses and then turned to glare at him, her eyes blazing white.
Damn.
He fled.
Alright.
Dash hovered over to Luna and angled to look her in the eyes.
Princess, this is a really bad idea. If you keep turning up the pressure, the machine's gonna blow.
Luna met Dash's gaze.
That is precisely our intention. We have need of a rainbow that doth reach beyond the edge of the skies themselves.
Dash
Next thing you know, Luna just comes flying out of Cloudsdale. Suck it, idiots.
stared in confusion.
Princess? What exactly do you need me to do?
In the far distance behind Dash, Luna watched a teal and orange streak gouge into the cloud street like a falling star.
Oh, it's lightning
A
nuts.
crowd quickly gathered around the crashed Pegasus.
So, lightning.
Luna narrowed her eyes. A magicked fog bank obscured the view.
Thou must follow a rainbow beyond the fairy borders of the world, Rainbow Dash, and seek out a creature of vast power. For Equestria shall soon have desperate need of her. Speed thee hence, Swift One, and bring us back the Megan.
The Megan?
Rainbow Dash listened in respectful silence while
The
Luna spoke.
Megan.
Then she flinched, sputtered, sniggered, and finally collapsed in a fit of raspy, choking laughter.
The Megan. The Megan. The Megan. That's a good name.
Luna frowned. Her magically enhanced ears
You
picked out bits
must.
and pieces of the distant crashed ponies' gasped entreaties.
Like a living wave.
Oh, it was lightning dust.
No pony left. No time. Go now. You gotta get out of here. Please, you have to listen to me. No, please. I know you don't. I'm not. Don't walk away. I'm not making it up. It's coming. It's coming.
Rainbow Dash!
Luna bellowed, stomping thunder from the cloud beneath her hooves.
This is no laughing matter.
It's the Megan,
Dash
though.
struggled to
The
control
Macon.
herself.
I'm sorry. But Princess, how can I find the Megan?
The
It's
Maggie.
just an old ponytail for foals.
Like Nightmare Moon?
Rainbow's expression became stricken.
Damn. She's got you there.
An instant later, the massive machine finally ruptured, and the entire cloud sank by a pony's height from the recoil as a massive multi-hued ribbon exploded forth from the shattered upper pipes. The glaringly bright rainbow stretched away
Dude,
into
this
the
is
distance,
not what I expected at
shrinking
all.
beyond sight. Rainbow Dash looked up in awe. What remained of her smirk dissolved.
Go forth, Rainbow Dash! Fly as fast as thy wings can carry thee. The rainbow will guide thee. Seek out the Megan and bring her back with thee to Canterlot. We shall await thy return there.
But Princess!
Go now! That is a direct order from your princess, Rainbow Dash!
The Pegasus gave a single resolute nod before rocketing into the sky, arcing to follow the colourful path cutting the sky in two. Mere moments later, Pegasi swarmed into the area, some reacting to the explosion, and others spreading the word about the exhausted messenger's dire message.
Enough!
Luna boomed with royal confidence.
There is no cause for such alarm. This matter is well in horn, we promise you.
Luna stole
Are
a
we
glance
sure,
upward,
though?
where Rainbow Dash was already a speck on the horizon.
Everything will be all right.
Are we sure, though? Is it Grogar from the thumbnail tag?
Twilight, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and Fluttershy were gathered in the palace's grand hall,
Sup?
facing Princess Luna as she strode through the doorway. Princess Celestia waited at the back of the room.
Princess Luna! Applejack mentioned you needed Rainbow Dash for something important? Is she back yet? We were
Nope.
going to head out soon.
Luna shook her head.
Thy friend is far away, and swift though she is, she shan't return so quickly.
Twilight Sparkle raised an eyebrow at Luna's statement.
Far away? What do you mean?
She's in G1.
Luna trotted forward.
Probably.
The group parted to allow her passage and followed.
Rest assured, it is a matter of crucial import, and a return shall merit a heroine's welcome.
Twilight turned to face her mentor.
Princess Celestia, did you know anything about this?
Princess Celestia stepped closer to the group of ponies.
My sister has acted faster than I expected her to, but I was aware of her concerns. Luna believes there is a great danger coming to Equestria, and she...
Celestia paused. She met her sister's gaze
probably is.
and let a rare, awkward
Well, there
silence
is.
pass.
She has sent Rainbow Dash to recruit an ally.
More than that, sister! A savior!
Luna stomped a hoof, the blow echoing in the vaulted room.
Now that she is being retrieved, we can all breathe easy. No matter what danger is coming, we...
Not coming! It's already here!
Oh,
The
sub
five
lightning
ponies and their two sovereigns turned toward the vast double doors, where a teal Pegasus mare was struggling in the grasp of two royal guards. The mare was wide-eyed and haggard. Sweat shone on her hide and in her tangled mane,
I assume
and a
it's
hastily
Grogar
wrapped
from the
bandage covered
thumbnail.
her right flank.
Apologies, Princess. She crashed into the topiary garden and then flew straight here. She was too fast for us,
said one
That's
of the
because
guards.
she's lightning dust.
Twilight squinted, and then her eyes widened.
Hey, I remember you from the academy. Lightning Dust, you nearly...
That's not important! You need to evacuate. Head as far north as you can.
Head as far north as you can now. That's what she said.
Twilight, Rarity, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Applejack spoke up at once, peppering the Pegasus with questions.
I don't understand what's going on.
Are you okay?
Darling, what could you tell him?
Why do we need to head very far north?
Honey, is everything all right?
Oh, probably because Grogar's coming from the thumbnail, coming from the south.
Princess
I
Celestia spread her
understand.
wings for silence,
I
and then
get
spoke
it.
when the ponies complied.
Lightning Dust, please tell us what's happening.
Dust sagged in the guard's grip.
I don't really know, Princess. I tried to explain in Cloudsdale. There was this ram, but he wasn't a ram. More like
He
a
was a
monster.
skeleton.
And he did
I think he
something
counts
to
as
a
a
volcano
monster.
in the Badlands, and it...
Badlands? That's halfway across Equestria from here. Why aren't you warning Dodge Junction or Appaloosa?
Dust winced and looked away.
Because they're
Her
gone.
wings drooped.
They're gone.
Appaloosa and Dodge are gone.
Boom!
The ponies standing before
So
Dust
smart.
shared a shocked silence. Applejack reacted first, her voice a faint whisper.
What do you mean, gone?
Dust closed her eyes against the ugly memory.
This huge wave of purple slime hit them.
Oh, it's G1!
Everything. It moved
It's
on
the
its own,
Shmooze!
like it was
think.
alive. And it was covered in these big, staring eyes.
It's
Every
the
little got covered and it
Shmooze!
just gave up. They lay there in the muck and they wouldn't move. They hardly even breathed.
Dust shuddered. Her voice cracked. When she opened her eyes, they shone with tears.
I wanted to do right this time. I wanted to prove that I wasn't
A
I
bad
tried
pun.
to help them. I tried to tell them. But they weren't fast enough. I wasn't fast enough.
She huddled up and hung her head, slouching
Damn.
on the marble floor like a vulture.
I couldn't save them. I flew away. They wouldn't listen to me. Even in my own city, they wouldn't even stop what they were doing to hear what I had to say. They were
Wow.
more concerned with that stupid weather factory than with me telling them that they were all about to
Wait, so Cloudsdale's just
When the
gone
sun
now?
came, it happened so fast that I couldn't.
Is Cloudsdale gone now?
I thought maybe Dodge or Appaloosa, they'd be more likely to listen to me. But they didn't. And now they're gone.
Luna's eyes showed sympathy, but her righteous expression did not falter. Twilight's eyes tightened. She swallowed despite her dry mouth.
And now this slime is coming this way?
Shmooze.
Dust nodded silently. Twilight stomped a hoof and spread her wings in defiance.
Well, We are not gonna let it get to Canterlot, or to Ponyville, or anywhere else.
Her friends agreed with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Princess Celestia smiled proudly and nodded in approval. Princess Luna remained silent.
You sound just like him.
Pinkie Pie tilted her head.
Who?
The sheriff in Dodge.
Ooh.
Twilight lowered her gaze, her wings
Just
folded.
blasted with magic. We got the princesses.
Celestia nodded.
Go. Go back to Ponyville, all of you. Protect the ones dear to you. And you, Lightning Dust,
Just zap
spread
it.
the word in Cloudsdale. We'll
But you
send a
just
royal
did.
escort with you this time.
Wait, didn't she just do
In
that?
the meantime, Luna and I will watch over Canterlot.
Her
Didn't she just
eyes
try to
met
do
her
that?
sisters once more.
There is a lot we need to discuss.
Sister. Cool black screen. You'll love it. Human!
A world away,
Actual
creature
human!
heedless of portents and Pegasi, spoke.
So, would you like to tell me
it's Leo.
what's on your mind?
What's up, Leo?
Dr. Sewell's voice was smooth and even. He spoke without corners, all in gentle curves, not unlike his plump physique. His pale green eyes peered over his wire-framed glasses as he stroked his salt and pepper goatee. He wore a cheery green sweater vest over a business-casual shirt and slacks. The sweater was the same shade as the drapes in the wood-floored office. He clasped his hands in his lap. His current patient lit a cigarette and held a drag for a moment before sighing out smoke.
To talk.
She slid low in the heavily cushioned leather
KNF.
armchair
Oh.
and spoke to the ceiling.
Oh, D.
I started dreaming again.
Her voice was husky and wearied, all
Dreaming.
in sharp edges, not unlike her emaciated physique. Her watery blue eyes stared up at the acoustic tiles through the strands of unruly straw-blonde hair which had escaped being tied back. She wore torn blue jeans and a faded black t-shirt decorated with white block letters that read KMFDM and Godlike, above and below a harsh woodcut image of a hand reaching out to grab the world.
What is a
Bad
KMFD?
dreams, you mean?
Sewell didn't pose it as a question. She let her right hand hang down over the side of the chair, her cigarette sprinkling ash on the floor, and slid her left down her pale face.
Human.
Yeah.
I noticed you canceled the trip to the petting zoo.
Not the
Sewell
petting
made
zoo.
the observation with the benignity of a comment about the weather, but a subtle note of accusation rang through.
The children were very disappointed, from what I hear.
His patient
Aw.
shifted to sit upright, and then sagged forward, resting her forearms on her thighs.
I can't go.
Sewell let a silent moment pass and watched his patient take another drag before he replied.
You can't make progress until you confront your fears, Megan. You need to see that these animals are perfectly normal and safe, so that you can get beyond your coping mechanism.
Are the animals
and remember
ponies?
what really happened to you.
Are the
Megan's
animals
fingers
ponies?
squeezed her legs.
I know, okay? I messed up. I'm sorry.
Sewell gave her a sympathetic half smile.
I'm not...
I feel like this girl character is like the older version of like the sister that was in MLPG 1. That's the vibe I'm getting.
trying to shame you, and you don't need to apologize. But it's important that you do everything you can to get well. We need to work together here, Megan. Can you do that?
In harmony.
She raised her head to look into his eyes.
I'll try.
Did you remember to fill in your dream diary?
Wordlessly, she tossed him a tiny waitress-style spiral notepad. He flipped through it, scanning the asymmetrical lines of scrawl.
I still don't see the point of it.
Keeping a dream journal is the best way to train your mind that dreams are important.
Okay then.
Dreams
I still
are great,
don't see why
man.
my dreams are important.
Dreams are
Megan
amazing,
dragged
dude.
compulsively on her cigarette.
Dream journals cultivate self-awareness, and self-awareness is the key to lucid dreaming. If we can get you to a point where your dreams are lucid dreams, you can actually change the repetitive nature of what you dream about into
I would
something
love to have some lucid dreams.
healthier.
Dr. Sewell's eye caught on a rough
Would be
diagram of
very
a short,
fun.
squat, rather chubby horse with a ribbon in its tail. The horse had
HG1.
wings.
I think I'm way too aware of myself already.
Dr. Sewell sighed and closed the notepad, but did not give it back.
Megan, one of the first steps to healing is self-acceptance. You need to accept the reality of what happened to you. You tell me that you do, but honestly, I don't see much evidence of it.
I
Oh,
do
this is
accept
the
it.
sister.
Megan's eyes drifted.
I accept what everyone has told me.
Look at your own phrasing there. You accept what others have told you happened to you. But you have not accepted the reality.
Alright, I think I know what's happening. I think... Okay, so this is obviously the sister. And I'm guessing, like, in G1 or something. I have not seen G1. But, like, the sister and the brother got, like, maybe teleported or just yeeted into the world of MLP. Or something. Basically, she's telling everybody about these ponies, but nobody's believing her. That's what I'm thinking.
Of what happened to you. You still, on some level, believe the fantasies that your mind constructed to shield you from that reality.
Megan hunched in on herself.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Sewell smiled kindly.
As I said before, there really is no need to apologize, Megan. None of this is your fault. To be honest,
It's
I'm
the
very
pony's
proud of the
fault.
progress you've made since I first met you. Always remember how far you've come already and be proud of that. Working with other troubled young people is a tremendous step. If sometimes you stumble, well, that's not the end of the world. What's important is that you pick yourself up, look at why you stumbled, and work to make sure you're prepared for the next time, so you don't stumble again.
Alright.
I'm sorry, it's the
Megan
middle of the night. I had
swallowed.
a yawn.
I'll see about rebooking the petting zoo visit.
Do it.
Dr. Sewell smiled.
Wonderful.
Yay!
Megan did not return his smile.
Aww.
52 minutes later, she wrapped her gunmetal grey raincoat closer and leaned forward into the rain spitting from the night sky as she walked down the sidewalk. She listened to the growls and splashes of passing cars on her right as they echoed off the soaring buildings to her left, and the rhythmic slapping of her sneakers on the wet pavement.
Slap.
They were normal sounds, real-world sounds.
Slap is such a good
While
word.
stopped at a crosswalk, waiting for the light to change so that she could reach her bus stop, she rummaged in her pockets for a cigarette and her lighter.
It's a
Both
key to...
fell into a puddle at the sound of trotting hooves.
It's a mounted cop.
Megan silently told herself as she felt her muscles clench and her pulse start to race.
Oh
It's
gosh.
always a cop. Look at him. Just turn and look.
She didn't. The
Ooh.
hoofbeats got louder. She hugged herself and tightly closed her eyes. In the silent fireworks playing out behind her eyelids, every distorted shape was a threatening one. A snarling, horned face, roaring dragons.
Okay, hold on. I gotta gush about this real quick. I love the way this character is presented. It's such a cool take on, like, you know, G1 and, like, the real human world. Of course, I haven't seen G1, I just told you this, but, like, I can already get, like, a sense of, like, what they took from G1 and what they didn't. And I think that's really cool, you know? And, like, the fact that, like, even though she doesn't say it outright, that with this whole pony thing, that you still know what's going on. And that, I love this part right here. This part is really cool.
Chains. A boiling whirlpool. a hissing wildcat with glowing eyes, a tolling bell, and everywhere, tiny horses screaming.
They aren't real. Damn it, they aren't real!
She let out a small whimper.
Are you okay, miss?
Megan jerked her head upward and looked at the source of the voice with the desperate haste of someone tearing off an adhesive bandage.
That's painful.
I'm fine, officer.
She managed after a few seconds of wide-eyed staring. The police officer looked at her the way so many people looked at her, with concern and not a little apprehension, like she was an unexploded bomb or something. His horse was enormous, a chestnut mare who leaned forward a little, making Megan jump back with a jolt.
Are you sure you're okay, miss?
Yes.
Just got horsophobia.
Sure.
Megan shoved her hands into her pockets so that the horse's soft, velvety mouth could not touch her bare skin. The police officer did not look like he believed her.
Weather's turned sour. You should probably get indoors.
The addendum,
what about you?
if
You're the
you
one
have
without a
anywhere to
jacket.
go, was unspoken, but clear nonetheless.
Just heading home now, sir.
Are you walking the whole way?
No. Bus.
Megan resisted taking a step back. She knew she already looked like a crazy person. Heck, there was no looked about it.
All right, then. Should be one along pretty soon if you hurry.
Okay. Thank you, officer.
The officer slowly nodded, and then directed his mount onward. The chestnut mare trotted on. Megan stayed where she was until the noise of the city swallowed up every trace of the receding hoofbeats.
Damn,
Far
dude.
above her, past the rain clouds, in the deep black of the night sky, a shooting star with a multi-hued tail flared into being.
Make a wish. Woo-wee. I like that section. I like that human world section. That was really cool. Back to Equestria.
By sunset, a wall of piled sandbags encircled the outskirts of Ponyville in anticipation of this sinister flood. The town's ponies had worked together with diligence and song, finishing the work in record time. All of the youngest and oldest ponies were safe and sound on the upper floors of homes and buildings, and most things of value were packed up with them. A heavy silence fell over the town, full of tension and anticipation. Fluttershy set down a tray of refreshments for the breakwall workers, and then alighted on the town side of the new wall, folding her wings and knitting her brows.
It's so quiet,
she whispered.
A little too quiet!
Pinkie Pie hopped out from behind a dirt pile and began playing a raucous tune on a small coiled horn made of crystal.
it's the horn again.
Her frizzy pink tail flopped to and fro in time with the honking notes. Several watchful ponies in the surrounding area jerked in surprise and then fixed the pink party pony with disapproving glares. Pinkie's music petered out and stopped.
Aww.
She said through the horn and backed away sheepishly.
There, in the distance!
A Pegasus stallion hovering a few pony heights above Pinkie pointed a hoof southward.
It's the
flood. A dark purple shadow was covering ground far in the distance, spreading toward Ponyville from the south, like the nightfall spreading from the east. The ponies at the wall leaped into action, double-checking its construction and shoring up thinner areas.
It's not water.
I seem so afraid of this thing.
Fluttershy hovered over to stand next to Pinkie.
What should we do?
Pinkie inhaled to speak, but then a full body spasm sent her wobbling back and forth. Her tail swirled and her eyelids fluttered. She finally came to rest after a straight-legged backflip. Fluttershy drew back in alarm.
Pinkie! I've never seen you get a Pinkie sounds like that before. What does it mean?
It means absolute danger.
Pinkie Pie was
Now we're gonna
very,
die.
very quiet. She was still a stone for 5 heartbeats, but then she perked back up to her usual broad grin and loud, high voice.
It means we're gonna
die. We should go check on every pony else. Come on, Fluttershy.
Pinky bounded away, Fluttershy scrambling to take off and hover after her. At the centre of town, Twilight Sparkle and her favourite assistant were hard at work organising the preparation efforts.
My boy!
Twilight's horn was glowing, as were the dozen parchments and half-dozen quills orbiting around her. The pens all wrote at once, a testament to the Alicorn's burgeoning arcane power. Spike the Dragon was scurrying this way and that, maintaining Twilight's in and out boxes by toting fresh and completed checklists and papers. A few yards away, Rarity's horn was also aglow. 7 blue glowing canvas sacks were assembling themselves one by one as they hovered around her, casting shadows over her pristine white hide. Each bag was stitched to sandbag perfection and embroidered with her stylized R insignia. Pinky hopped over with a cheery smile.
Hey, Twilight. Hey, Rarity. Looks like the... whatever it is coming pretty soon. Have you seen Applejack anywhere? And is Dashy back yet?
Twilight's eyes didn't leave her work.
Applejack is fortifying Sweet Apple Acres, and Rainbow Dash is...
gone.
A few of the floating papers wavered.
Still not here.
Still not back yet.
Oh.
Pinkie Pie's smile lost an inch or two of width.
So mysterious.
Okie dokie then. If you see them, tell them...
Pinky pondered for a moment.
Tell them Pinky said to keep on smiling.
Will do.
Twilight was already half obscured by her swarming busywork, but the enchanted pages soon slowed once again.
Hold on. Why can't you just tell them you're...
Pinky was already gone.
What was that all about?
I don't know. Just Pinky being Pinky?
Spike passed by with a pile of inventory sheets.
Maybe so?
Rarity narrowed her well-decorated eyes.
Maybe not.
Fluttershy shrugged apologetically, at a loss to contribute to the conversation. Her front hooves were outstretched to receive Rarity's shipment of haute couture sandbags for delivery. The timid Pegasus took to the air and headed back to the breakwall's dirt pile to have the bags filled and distributed. But a few wing beats from the site, a shadow loomed in the southern distance.
Why is she sweating?
Fluttershy drifted to the ground, and the bags dropped. Fluttershy's jaw did likewise. A surging, boiling, purple-black tidal wave was building a few hundred yards from Ponyville.
Oh, Jesus.
The vicious sludge lashed and lunged as it flowed, like a clot of worms writhing in a thin bag. The outer surface was dotted with staring, shallow-socketed eyes that rolled to and fro in mindless stares.
Oh, the 1,000 eyeballs.
The wave crested and fell, and a rolling wall of the slime streaked toward the breakwall at a galloping pace. All around Fluttershy, ponies broke and ran and flew in a panic, desperate to escape. Fluttershy stood in mute shock until a galloping earth pony jostled her aside and she snapped to her senses. She spread her wings and took flight seconds before the syrupy mass struck the sandbag wall. The first impact knocked half the sandbags flying, but the wall held back the noxious tide until the tide began to climb. Fluttershy rose higher and sprinted for her cottage on the town outskirts. Placed on a hilltop as it was, the home had seemed pointless to fortify. But now... At the same time, not far away, Applejack and her bulky brother approached a second break wall around Sweet Apple Acres, which encompassed the Zap Apple Field and the farm's primary buildings.
I ain't gonna do nothing.
Apple Bloom's Miss Shirley at school in town, and Granny Smith's up at the farmhouse. Now that the pony folk are safe, no reason not to shore up this here wall. Gotta keep our livelihood protected.
Yup,
agreed Big Macintosh. Above them,
Sounded
pink and yellow streaks shot past, and then briefly doubled back.
Get off the ground! The walls won't stop it! It's coming! Hurry!
Fluttershy flew off without another word. Before the Apple siblings could do more than share a look of concern, a low, bone-shaking thud turned their gazes to the nearby first break wall, where bubbling slime with 1,000 eyes had struck and was already spilling over.
I'll watch over the wall. You make sure the barn's secure and Granny's safe.
What do you mean, watch
Big
over
Mac
the wall?
stared out at the endless tide of purple filth surging toward the closer sandbag wall. He hung his head and let the grass stem between his teeth fall.
Dude, the wall's gone.
Love you, Jackie.
The stallion's kick sent Applejack sailing upward, smashing through the hayloft doors to crash down in the attic's soft contents, senseless, but safe and out of reach.
Man, why didn't you just run?
Back in the middle of town, the air was thick with the stench of the purple
could've just
muck
ran.
and the sounds of
Okay.
ponies shouting and screaming and crying. Twilight and Rarity stood side by side, backing away from the roiling slime pouring through the street. Spike stood on the ground between them, weaving to peek between their legs as he followed them in retreat.
You should fly away, Twilight. Those wings aren't just for show, you know.
I'm not leaving you!
Can't you carry her? I could sit on your back and you could...
I don't think I'm strong enough yet to fly while carrying a full-grown pony for long.
She turned to face Rarity.
And I don't want to risk losing you if I carry you with magic, or try to wing you out. One jostle to my horn, and I might lose the spell matrix. We need to find another way.
Rarity nodded. A fresh wave of the slime surged down the street, driving the trio back.
What is this stuff?
It's the Shmooze.
It smells like a used lava bath.
Twilight ignited her horn.
Whatever it is, don't let it touch you. Not even the tip of your tail. Lightning Dust said it's dangerous.
She magicked up a rain barrel and cracked it like an egg, brandishing the two broad halves defensively. Rarity's horn flared as she magicked up a spare sheet of burlap and spread it like a matador.
Oh my god. I just thought of something. Alright, so you remember that one SpongeBob episode? Yeah, you remember that one SpongeBob episode, you know. So, solution. What if we take Equestria and push it somewhere else?
Matador's cape. She huffed and gave a flick of her tail.
God.
Let that touch my coat fur? I assure you, Twilight, that is the last thing I will do.
The wall behind Rarity exploded outward as a sludge-bloated home finally reached its breaking point. Twilight winked out by reflex, disappearing in a reddish flash and reappearing on clear ground a few yards away.
Why did you take Rarity?
Spike was close enough to be
That's
caught
right.
in the spell's effects,
Oh.
and he found himself tumbling to the dirt beneath Twilight, singed and smoking. The pressure
You okay,
slowly
bro?
eased, and the slime flowed down the paths of least resistance. Twilight opened her eyes and got her bearings.
Oh no!
Rarity had lunged in the opposite direction that Twilight had travelled, and her gamble had not paid off as Twilight's had. Her entire right side was plastered with the thick muck.
Ew.
Her right eye was as wide and blankly staring as the half-dozen ghastly others now dotting her hide.
Ooh.
Her gaze turned to meet Twilight's. The unnatural eyes did likewise. Rarity's lips quivered and parted, but no sounds escaped. A tear fell from her left eye, and she collapsed.
Rarity!
Spike leaped to...
Okay, that's pretty creepy. Oh, that... Ooh. That
his feet and raced toward the stricken unicorn, but the glow of Twilight's magic snatched him into the air.
Oh, wow.
No!
That's
Twilight, let me go! We have to...
He struggled against the magical aura, his legs flailing. He howled in anguish.
Rarity!
Spike! Listen!
Twilight spun the little dragon around and held him in front of her face. She shook him.
We'll help Rarity! Do you hear me? We will!
She bashed aside a reaching tendril of the slime with a swing of one of the barrel halves.
But we can't help her if this stuff gets us too! Do you understand? We need to get to safety!
Spike sagged in midair. Tears shone in his eyes, but he nodded. A few streets away, Cup and Carrot Cake cringed on Sugar Cube Corner's upper floor, hugging around the basket holding their twin babies. At ground level, shallow waves of slime ebbed and flowed through the bakery and the surrounding buildings.
Not the
Here
babies,
and there,
man.
panicked ponies screamed and galloped to escape, but most only succeeded in being doused in purple filth and left still and silent. Countless inequine eyes rolled in their translucent sockets, seeking any further sign of movement. One of the tentacle-like waves swept through the bakery's back room, and pots and pans crashed to the damp floor. Little Pumpkin Cake flinched at the noise and began to whimper. Her brother followed suit.
Aww.
No. No, no, no. Please. Please. It's alright. Shh, 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 shh. Don't cry.
Cupcake's desperate whispers were as soothing as she could make them. After a second crash, the foals burst into tears.
No.
All around, faceless eyes turned to focus on the bakery. The thick pseudopods inside the building reached and probed in search of the stairs.
Oh, I'm gonna go get a cat problem fixed.
Stairs up. Carrot Cake ducked to press his lips to his wife's forehead, and then cantered over to the room's door and braced himself against it.
I won't let it get in, honey. I promise.
His voice was firm. His legs were shaking.
Ooh. That's good word choice.
Not far away, Twilight Sparkle galloped along the untouched upper walls of downtown Ponyville's buildings as if they were level ground. Her horn blazed from the gravity-bending spell, and Spike was clinging to her back between her spread wings, still and silent. Twilight vaulted the chasm that was a side street and skidded to a stop near an abandoned cart on the wall that was the ground. She magicked up the cart and smashed it into a narrow alleyway, wedging it in place and blocking the vile flood's path. She released the spell and flapped onto open ground. Her stance wavered for a moment from the vertigo of realigning up and down.
That's all the major side streets. That should slow it down and buy us a little time.
A little, not much though.
Spike huddled on Twilight's back,
That's
feeling
true.
small and useless. Twilight's expression hardened.
Time to prepare the balloon. We're evacuating Ponyville.
Spike's
How many
emerald green
ponies can
eyes
fit in a
widened.
balloon?
But Twilight! We don't have a choice. The sludge is spreading too fast. Lightning Dust was right. We need to run and find somewhere safe so we can figure out what to do.
Go north.
We'll airlift as many as we can in the balloon. The Pegasi will carry out as many others as possible.
Go north.
And I'll enchant them so they can stand on the clouds.
Spike's lip quivered.
What about every pony else?
Hold on a minute. So, if the sludge is on the ground, why can't we just live in... Well, of course, earth ponies can't do that. And unicorns, need spells to, stay in the clouds. And only really Pegasi can live on the clouds for, just live on the clouds? Use the clouds. Get high.
What about Rarity?
He wrung his tail in his claws.
Twilight?
Twilight looked down the abandoned, barricaded street, but made no reply. On the outskirts of town, Fluttershy flapped her wings and strained against the weight of the brown bear above her. She pushed the animal upwards with her outstretched front hooves, helping him climb up the side of her grass-thatched cottage. Above them, dozens of animals crowded on the rooftop. Chipmunks and squirrels and beavers and weasels and kittens and otters and rabbits stood among birds of every size and color.
Please, Harry. You have to climb
Harry
a
the
little
bear.
faster. All right?
Fluttershy said through gritted teeth. She gave another heave, and the bear finished his ascent. The job was done. A moment later, the sweating Pegasus felt her overworked left wing clench and spasm after an off flap.
Oh, jeez.
A sprain.
Ooh, that's...
Fluttershy fell to the ground,
that's really bad.
writhing and whimpering in pain. Nearby, the tide of purple corruption approached. Some of the animals chatted amongst themselves, and several raced over the edge of the roof. Angel Bunny took the lead. Fluttershy squirmed around to look up at them. She frowned.
No! Don't you dare come down for me! You stay where you are! All of you!
Oh, she's gonna die.
Fluttershy focused through the throbbing pain in her wing and unleashed her fiercest stare.
Oh, she's about to go
The animals froze in shock.
Out.
Angel begged with his eyes.
Stay!
She was still
Angel's
staring
gonna jump down.
when the slime reached her.
Oh man.
On Sugar Cube Corner's top floor, Carrot Cake's hooves skidded on the floor as the encroaching slime bashed against the door. He adjusted his stance and leaned harder against the cracked wood. Separated from the majority of its mass by the trip up the stairs, the slime wave was weaker than its wall-rupturing brethren below. But the door was thin, and Carrot's gangly yellow frame made a poor blockade.
Please, Celestia.
Carrot silently begged.
Let them get away. I don't care what happens to me. Please, just let them get away.
Just to kick my man.
An
You are a good
incongruously
soul.
squeaky explosion sounded in the distance, and a blur of pink arced down to strike a...
Is Pinky trying to defeat the sludge with confetti?
ground in front of the besieged bakery. The cakes stared out of the upstairs window in confusion. Pinkie Pie fixed her stance and looked up through the rain of sprinkles and confetti that had accompanied her party cannon-powered flight.
Hey!
She bellowed at the sludge flooding her home.
You wanna pick on ponies? Then pick on Pinkie Pie, punk!
She waved her tail and blew an echoing raspberry. Cupcake leaned out of the bakery's window.
Pinkie! No!
Pinkie ignored her.
You're making ponies all sad and floppy, huh? Bet you can't stop this!
She unleashed a smile a few degrees wider than her head. The bare eyeballs speckling every patch of slime turned to face her, and the amorphous mass slowly seeped out of the bakery
She's
and
smiling.
into the street.
What is this?
Pinkie capered to and fro, waving her balloon-marked rump at the blob.
Nya-nya!
She hopped farther away from the bakery. The slime gathered itself up and extruded an arm-like wave wider than Pinkie was tall. She moved to dodge, but the wave splattered when it missed and soaked her in purple. The impact knocked her off her hooves.
Pinkie!
Cupcake screamed from the window. Carrot, watching from behind her, turned away.
Sweet Celestia, no. I meant my whole family, including her.
The slime withdrew and shifted to return to the bakery. But then a voice made it pause.
You're gonna have to
What?
do better than that.
Pinky, what?
Pinkie was struggling to get back on her hooves. Her knees wobbled, but she stood, and her broad smile split the muck staining her face.
I'm sorry, but why is Pinky
A ripple
going
of
anime?
something not unlike irritation passed through the slime. It pulled away from the bakery once more, and raised up a fresh pseudopod.
Finally, a worthy opponent.
Fine. It's not so bad. Just kinda smelly.
The second wave smashed down on her. When it withdrew, she was flat on her back, completely coated. The slime's lidless eyes somehow managed to widen when Pinkie spat out a mouthful of muck and turned onto her side.
Tastes like cherries.
Retched and spat out an eyeball as she staggered back upright.
What? All this pudding? And no sprinkles? Ah!
The slime wave hit her again. Her knees buckled, but she righted herself. Her smile returned.
Come on, Pinky.
You're not
Come on,
so
Pinkster.
good at this, are you?
You suck.
I'm not even grumpy.
It hit her
You
again.
suck, Shmooze.
Pinkie sobbed, and tears cut through the purple splatters on her cheeks. Her hooves skated on the slime until she slammed into a public trough.
Ugh.
Her smile returned.
I think you missed a spot.
It hit her again. The trough
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Pinkie whimpered through her gritted teeth. She leaned heavily against the trough's remains, straining to raise her head under the weight of her sludge-sodden mane. The slime on her flanks sizzled and bubbled over her cutie mark. And her smile returned. She narrowed her bloodshot eyes at the largest slime mass and coughed out a chuckle.
This isn't working. If you aren't gonna try harder, you might as well turn tail and run right now.
Dude, the pinkster!
Her eyes darted upward for a moment and met Mrs. Cake's.
You hear me? Run!
The slime was furious now. The bakery was forgotten. The bubbling muck pounded the purpled pink party pony with layer after layer of liquid horror, knocking her back down whenever she tried to move.
Yeah!
Pinky cackled hysterically, writhing under the onslaught like a worm on a hook. Through her choking, half-sobbed laughter, she shouted again and again.
Run! 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 Run!
The Cakes galloped out the bakery's front
Pinky
door.
the hero!
The shadow of Twilight Sparkle's hot air balloon fell over the Cakes, and behind them, all was silence.
Alright. Discussion time on the to be continued screen. Alright. Overall, not bad. Not bad. Wouldn't say it's my favorite audio drama in the world. Is it a banger? Debatable. It's only the first episode, so it's probably gonna be a slow burner. I do have a couple problems though. One, I feel like they kind of just cut into like all the drama a little bit too quick. It didn't really give me much room to breathe and kind of just experience what this version of Equestria had to offer. You know, it just kind of went from like, alright, here's Rainbow Dash and Applejack, to like immediately starting like the plot, the drama, and everything. And I feel like and that kind of leads into my second problem, the characters. I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't really find the characters all too interesting. Of course, I find the characters used in the story interesting, but just these versions, like the way they used them, it wasn't particularly interesting. They all just kind of felt bland and kind of one note, one dimensional. And it led me kind of not really caring about the characters. Of course, I cared for I don't want to crush you to die and everything, but like, kind of leave me like, alright, she's dead now. That's sad. I do like Pinky though. Pinky, she's a hero. But like, I feel like the best part of this audio drama so far was the human part. Like, I actually really care about the human part to it. Like, you got a nice sense and flow. It gave you room to breathe. You understood the character. You understood what she was going through, and you got a nice sense of what her character was. You know, and I just really love that part. I really love that part. But besides that, not a bad audio drama, you know? I thought this was the Scribbler audio drama, but no, it was actually made by Soap Opera Pony. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But hey, I'll watch more. But hey, I'm gonna watch G1 first though. So if you've seen up to this part, don't expect part 2 or episode 2 till like July or even August, because I gotta watch G1. So yeah, that's History Repeats for now.